How's it going, everyone? And welcome back to episode 16 of the Rock and Beards podcast. It's your boy HSR, and with me today is...
Oh, is that me first?
Well, I don't care. Somebody talk.
Let's make it awkward a bit. Okay, so it's me, your wonderful co-host, Jay. That's right, I'm taking co-host now.
All right.
You can catch me on Why the Hell Not. And we had him this week.
That's
so
true.
Just check that out. You'll see the links on the bottom.
Yeah.
I love you, and that's enough of my banter.
And Syd.
What's up? I'm the guest. My name is Syd. I'm a musician. I write for Bucket List, bucketlistmusicreviews.com.
He'll give me stuff to link below.
Yeah, link
Click,
and
subscribe,
shit.
everything.
All
Click,
that stuff. Can we
subscribe,
swear?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck.
Fuck.
Link and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking do it.
Damn it. Yes.
Watch the fucking YouTube heroes show up now and hear just this one. Fuck. Okay.
Gonna get flagged.
So yeah, Syd's really fascinating, and you should check him out.
I am
Actually, we
fucking-
really had a really good conversation, and you can catch that out never.
Yeah,
So,
because
that's
we
it.
didn't record it, but it was quite enthralling. It was a good chat.
It was.
Passionate.
We're talking about that instead of the album that we're reviewing today. Jay, why don't you tell us what album that is?
Yeah, we're talking about Nickelback.
One of my favorite bands.
And it's Feed
Honestly.
the Machine.
Yeah,
The
I wanted
one
to talk.
that came out June 16th, 2017, because they're still here and they're still making music. Nickelback,
They're never gonna die.
they're never gonna die.
It's 25 years strong now, eh?
For real, eh?
1995, 1996.
Holy shit.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
even know
strong, man. 96 I think I saw was their first but back when they were good album. And
Oof.
Reputation.
He's
Controversial
already taking
statements.
shots. Like,
Controversial
start with the first
statements.
song.
well, okay.
I'm gonna put you on a photograph.
So when did you guys get into Nickelback?
I think as what I just said, a photograph. I think that's the first song I ever heard.
Okay.
I think my first Nickelback track that I heard was not How You Remind Me,
Okay.
but it was the other single from that album,
Like
Too Bad. Too Bad, yeah.
Actually, you know how I really learned about them, and this is funny. It wasn't even their song. I think it was that stupid Spider-Man song.
Okay.
That's not even Nickelback.
It's
That's just
Chad
Chad Kroeger.
Kroeger
In it.
and Josie
He's
Scott.
in it.
Yes, but-
He's in it.
And Josie Scott.
But hold on,
From
you know
what
what?
band now?
Saliva.
That sounds disgusting.
Oh my god, I remember that band.
But
I
Shit.
don't know the band. I just know he's the front man of it.
Talk about
See,
the
but that's
90s.
it. Like Chris Krueger, like
Chad
that's
Kroeger.
Chad Kroeger.
Wow, I call him Chris. So Chad.
Sorry, Chad.
So Chad Krueger. Sorry. Like, when I hear his name, I think Nickelback right away. So that's how I knew him.
And I don't think you're the only one.
No.
I think everyone thinks that that's a Nickelback song just
I-
because you hear his voice and it's like, oh, that's Nickelback, but he can do other things, you know?
Yeah,
He's
no.
allowed.
I remember that conversation happening in high school for me.
Oh,
A
I'm gonna
whole
throw some
bunch.
shade on him. You know how I know him? He's kind of like the Chris Martin of everything. Like, he's on a lot of songs,
Yeah.
and you just think of Chris Martin as Coldplay.
Yeah.
And he's,
Okay,
that's
fair.
it, and
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I'm saying. So
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I
That's
do
how I know.
feel that way. I don't know another person in Nickelback's name except for Chad.
that's it.
And I know a lot about Chad.
I know they have instruments.
I know that they play them and that they go on tour with Chad.
Nickelback featuring Chad. That's what they should build
It's
their
like
tour
My
as.
Band by D12. Chad
Oh
and
my-
the other guys.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I remember that song.
By Eminem and B12.
Yeah, I got into them at definitely How You Remind Me.
Yeah.
Although, in Sage Up, I was blessed to gain access to the album before Silver Side Up, which I like Silver Side Up. I don't care what anyone says. I was really back in Nickelback at first. And that older album, mad dope. It was just somewhere, my whole high school, I felt Nickelback.
No,
Their
it's just the
singles
way
were
you made it
strong.
seem was like I was so into it in high school, but now I can't defend them.
And
So I was
then,
like waiting for the insult.
yeah, no, it's coming.
Okay, like she
And then
said.
they released that album in 2005. We were looking at it, the one with the car on the road. I can't
No,
remember.
so before that, they released
I didn't know that one.
So like what these
it's
guys
the
were
one
saying-
with Someday.
Yeah.
Someday,
That was
somehow.
trashy. Okay, not trashy, but
I like that album. I mean, I like Nickelback. I think I'm the only one here who likes Nickelback.
Oh, I
I'm
enjoy that.
I like parts of Nickelback, and there are parts of Nickelback I don't like. So like, I will still sing "How You Remind Me" with lots of love, but like,
In the
I'm
shower,
not
hated.
into the middle part of their career so much, or what happened after that.
Well,
You know,
I feel like what I said before when we were talking, Nickelback is that stupid TV show that you love, but you don't want anybody to know. Like, if you're a dude, you don't want to watch people like, you watch Dawson's Creek or Pretty Little Liars, whatever they're
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want my guy friends to know this, but I fucking love this.
and so you actively make fun of them.
Yeah,
to,
they're
like,
shit. And you die inside.
Nah, but I've always like respected
It's
what
so
they
bad.
do.
Never made it as a what?
That's I don't know how. I know this is gonna sound so racist, but you know that I don't know the song exactly. Probably is for it, but you were just singing the lyrics. What was it again?
How you remind me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, look. I think it's a blind man. He says something. I'm a blind
Never
man.
made
it as a blind man.
But I always said a black man.
Oh boy.
And I was like so stupid. And I was like, wait, is that the lyric?
Couldn't cut it as a black man. But it's true. I
That's
couldn't.
funny.
I couldn't. I
Well, that's
tried.
how I
You
sang it.
just
All my friends
not.
would, and then my black friends would be like, "What are you saying?"
It's not
I'm like,
even-
"Isn't that the lyric?" They're like, "Jay, no, it's not. It's a blind man." And I'm like, "No."
So you offended two huge groups of people.
Oh, I'm offending
One fell
everybody.
swoop, just like.
I
Well
don't.
done.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, and then
That's great.
did you guys see the like? I'm gonna asshole in the tag this as a joke later, but did you ever see the like the YouTube videos? Like it's like look at this photograph, right? But it's like in
Yeah.
the photograph, it's like look at this boat, or like, and there'll be a picture of a boat, and he just goes on. There's like a whole thing. Like Nickelback is the greatest thing to parody.
And you know what? They're so receptive towards it,
They
and
love
I
it 'cause
appreciate
they're
that.
listening to them.
I
Like-
think they play the media game better than any Canadian band.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely.
I think that their approach
Rush.
to the media game is so very Canadian. Like,
Yeah.
they don't get mad at people for dissing them. They accept it. They love it. They joke back. They'll retort, and because
You
they
said
know
the
what they're
perfect thing
doing.
before. You said the perfect thing. You know, they get dissed, but they're sold out. People buy their CDs.
Exactly.
He's rich, bitches. He doesn't give a fuck. He's
He
like
doesn't
probably
care.
swimming in a pool of money
And
right
I
now.
think that's part of my problem of where I fell off is at a certain point I do feel like their music was a bit sellouty. I don't know
Of
about their
course.
last 3 albums, let's say,
I'm sorry,
because
burn it to
I
the
stopped
ground.
listening. But for a while, it almost felt like they realized that this particular thing would sell, and they made that.
But this is the thing, right? You talk about sellout. I think that to be a band that has fully sold out, you have to be one of those bands that like, I'm still pure. I'm still doing this for me. But like they have like 16 different songwriters and they have like
Right,
60.
right.
But Nickelback, Chad Kroeger came out and said, look, this is my formula. This is how I write songs. I like it. People like it. It's poppy. Whatever. It's not complicated, and that's what we're gonna do.
There was a
And people
song
are gonna
from
fucking buy it.
Completely respect that, but I guess I'm old enough to have been listening to them pretty much their whole career.
Yeah.
So my issue with them, at least in the middle part, was it almost kind of nothing was surprising in their music to me anymore, except that they were more explicit sexually as the albums went on.
Well,
And that
he's
was about
rich,
that was
and
it,
he
right?
can fuck anybody
And
he
so
wants.
like, and then
And
yeah,
why not sing about that, right?
Which is
why the fuck not?
But
I'm
I got-
seeing strippers every night now. I'm gonna
Why
fucking
the
sing
hell
about
not?
it.
and
Strippers sing about it.
so like I respect that completely. It just I got bored with it, and actually I want to just
Well, he
kind of
didn't.
pivot a little bit back towards this album because it's I
Yeah.
wanted to approach this with an open mind, right? Because
Feed the
it's
machine.
obviously Nickelback, right? They're fucking dope, and the title of this album, "Feed the Machine," actually made me think it would have some substance to it, which made me kind of curious and a little bit excited for this album, even though it was
How many
Nickelback.
people say that about Nickelback though?
I don't know.
That's the fun part. But like, I just had a question. What'd you think about the cover?
I thought it was amazing. It is possibly in like the top 2 or 3 covers I've seen of albums that have come out in 2017, and I've seen quite a few album covers this year because it fits the title,
Yeah.
right? Like it's clearly showing that this person, this icon, this whatever, is being fed by the data, the machine, etc. And it gets me all thinking sci-fi like, and already a million ideas of what this could be about as an album pop into my head. And I loved it. I thought it was surprisingly interesting and made me really excited to hear the content.
Yeah.
It's really cool. With the same fucking Nickelback and the same letters from day one at the top like normal.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that the album in general, just like you look at the track, the titles, right? I think there's a theme that they were going for that they haven't really done on past albums. Like No Fixed Address was like, okay, we're going on tour, so we have no fixed address. Or Here and Now, it's like, yeah, this is our album, we're doing it now. But with Feed the Machine, they have I guess he's a presidential looking guy and he's got the fucking mechanical plug
Yeah.
stuck into his
Well,
back.
I-
And then they have the song titles like Coin for the Ferryman and The Betrayal, and it's really they've worked the theme and they've worked the concept of it really well.
Like they've
understand your
actually
point.
tried to make a concept album
See,
as
this is
opposed to a series of random pop songs so like it's almost like this is not a sellout move. This is almost like a risk for their career.
Oh, hold on. So when I looked at the cover art, for some reason a lot of this year I'm going to say something I repeat. I looked at it and I'm like, maybe this is a political statement. because Feed the Machine, I felt, and a couple of the songs, it's like if you don't really look into the lyrics and go in depth, and you just look at the name and you listen in the ear, and like some people do that. Let's be honest. Sometimes we don't want to read the lyrics. We just want to hear it. And I was like, okay, you see this guy? It looks like it's a machine, and he's a dictator, and you have the masses of people, and it's like and they're going crazy for him, but he's just saying everything you want to hear. And who did do that this year and like our last 2 years?
Interesting.
So
okay, I think we should start talking about the song because the first song on the album
so I guess we're gonna
is
feed the machine.
Yeah.
So let's feed the machine.
Let's feed the machine.
All right, Jay. How did you feel about Feed the Machine?
Really? You're gonna start like that?
Yeah, I did.
That's kind of cute. Okay. Well, Feed the Machine was a good song. It was laid back. I said it was like while we were talking and listening to it, which you guys don't know about.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. It was nice paced, but I felt like something was missing from it at a point. Like, cause me, I say this all the time, and I will say it again. When I start off with a CD, I want something to get me there. Like, I want to be invested, and I was. And then it kind of mellowed down. It wasn't as fast paced as I would like to be, and that's just a personal taste. It was a good song, but once again, any rock album, I respect anyone who does anything with instruments, because I don't play an instrument. And if you're able to do that, you took time, you learned, and you studied, and that's amazing. It was kind of cool. Like, I felt like he was talking about like maybe a political stance at one point, because of stuff that's going on in this world, and we're feeding the machine with social media and with TV and everything, and we're creating these problems by going with the okay or the norm. It's like, I really don't like this, but everyone else is doing it, so let me follow.
Okay.
So he's talking to the sheep, and we are the sheep.
Okay.
So for me, all right, do you want to give it a grade? Is that what we're doing now?
They'll give the grade.
Give the grade after. Okay. So for me, coming from a background like as a rock musician, and I grew up on rock music, and that's mostly what we cover on Bucket List, right?
Right.
Is rock bands. We dabble in jazz and whatever, but it's mostly rock. And I feel like you said that you didn't like the way that the song kind of slowed down, and I think we were talking about this earlier too, how a lot of these songs have a live feel, how they're gonna just hit really well when they get into a venue, get into a stadium, whatever. And I feel like that tom beat that comes in is gonna fucking move people when they get to hear the song live, and then that big fucking chorus comes in with the play with your life, play with like.
You brought up a good point, but I'm gonna say it later on. It's something to do with the choruses here, and a lot of these songs. So. Just remember that, viewers. Jay's going to drop some knowledge on you.
Spoiler alert.
We'll see.
And the other thing I really liked about this track is in the middle. In the middle of the track, there's a line about like, why do I feel like it's my fault? Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's Nickelback and Chad Kroeger in particular taking some of the blame of the way, I guess, social media and the music industry and just like the way media in general works to bring people towards or to line sheep up and line people up, and now he feels like he's caused some of the problems, what's happening like in North America.
I just
indirectly.
thought of a completely different thing, and you know what I just thought? Maybe this song is not political, but maybe this song is just adding on. He's feeding the machine, and the machine is us, the people.
I took something a little bit different from like what the song's about. So for one thing, Chad said he wrote this before the whole Trump shit, so it's not directly political.
No, but look, I'm just gonna get this point out fast, please. And everyone loves to hate on Nickelback. Maybe he's just with this song, he's just feeding to those people to hate on him.
Nah. See, he's actually got more of like, from what I took is like a direct criticism of our consumer culture and how we just take ideas and we all just kind of like complacently fall in line and just consume. Like it's just consume to consume almost, right? And it's very like, it could be about politics, but we do the same thing there. We just kind of absorb various ideologies and embrace things to consume it, not because we really believe it or want it or need it. And the same thing with buying items or all of it. And I thought that what was really amazing about this song was how surprisingly powerful the lyrics are, for one thing. Now, when Chad hits, he hits. Right. And this was like out the park lyrically, right? And it was relatable to so many topics that I could see what Chad was going for, and then I could see multiple other things that I could relate to in myself. The way it started, man, it was so nu metal. I don't care what anyone says. This was a nu metal fucking jam. It reminded me of 2002 and shit, like back when I think the greatest genre of music came to life and then died. not long after. I love nu metal. It is my absolute fucking favorite.
Well, right.
So this hit me fucking right in the heart proper. Like, Linkin Park's my favorite band. You know, like, the overall feel.
Another time,
of it.
another podcast.
I know. Just throwing it out there.
Unfortunate CD.
And if you look at them being signed to Roadrunner, and Roadrunner more or less being the poster boy of nu metal over that time,
and metalcore, and
it makes sense.
And you said to me yesterday that you didn't feel like Nickelback belonged on Roadrunner, and I said I disagreed because I think that Roadrunner, as much as they are the major metal label, I think that they're the ones that propagate whatever the mainstream metal trend is that
I would agree with.
Most hardcore deep down metal fans resent. So they were the big poster boys for nu metal, they were the big poster boys for metalcore, and then gent, and then whatever the fuck is happening now.
But yeah,
and
I guess Nickelback fits in along that equation.
Yeah, they totally fit in along that equation because they were like. Nickelback has always been that band that toes the line of radio music or really heavy.
It's just the Photograph song is on Roadrunner. Okay, like that part was baffling to me. All right, that's.
But that album is still, for the most part, heavy as hell.
I mean,
heavy as hell for radio music, right? It's got Animals on it. It's got Follow You Home is the opening track. It's got
which I'm certain people will crucify me for saying online.
Well, no, people hate that song. I like the song. People hate that song.
I know. That album had really mixed reviews with people.
Yeah.
And in general, Nickelback's a little polarizing.
Very much.
But the musicking is the music itself is next level on this shit. Like, right? Honestly, they are so fucking tight.
Yeah.
The riffs are actually complicated and interesting. The songwriting is next level. The flows make sense and shit. I was like, I can't find a lot to criticize. There were a couple of points vocally where he sounds like he's whining, and it wasn't nice. So I couldn't give this a perfect mark only because of the whining in a couple of parts of the song that annoyed me. But that's it. That was my nitpicking to find something wrong with this, right? Otherwise, it's fan-fucking-tastic. I was so impressed, and honestly, this is one of the stronger opens for me, at least. I gave this a 4.5 on 5 because of how fucking mesmerizing I felt this song was. Plus the video. The video fit the song. True. It's got that whole sci-fi, spacey, feed the machine. It looks like it belongs with the album cover. It looked like a hunter
going after something.
Kind of looked like a promo for the album a little more than... But it was great. All in all, it was a great experience. I was truly shocked that Nickelback made me feel this way.
Give it the grade. I want to hear you.
I'm going to give it a 4. I'm actually going to give it a lower grade than you're giving it, just because I'm coming from a place where I've heard every Nickelback album, and I know what they can do for an opener. And I really do like this track. I I don't feel like it was their strongest opener compared to Something in Your Mouth or This Means War or Follow You Home that they've done in the past. But I really like the riff. I really like the guitar work. I really like the lyrics. In terms of the production, I do feel like there was just a little bit too much. And I mean, look, if you have the money, make your song fucking sound good, produce it, kill it, make it sound clean as shit.
It's rock, so it should have a bit more edginess.
There should be a little bit more of a raw feeling to it, especially with a track like this and an album like this, where that's the message, right? So they could have dialed that back just a little bit.
Here's a good question for both of you. If this wasn't the opener, would you have changed your grade maybe? Well, maybe not you because of 4.5.
No, because I really like the song. If I had heard this later on and considering the rest of the album, I would have felt like at almost any point on this album, this would have picked me up.
Okay, I like that answer. But no, you.
I don't know that any other song would have worked.
I see a song, a different song.
I know you do. I know you do.
So
we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
So what did you give it, Jay?
Okay, so this is my last complaint. The reason why I'm going to give it a 3.5, yes, the 3.5 to you guys, is because I didn't enjoy the solo as much.
Okay.
I need a better solo. That's why we were talking about energy. It didn't have that energy. I needed a fucking drum solo or a guitar solo, something that fucking gets you there. And they didn't get me there. I was disappointed.
It was mad
So that's
impressive.
why you get a 3.5.
But it was mad impressive for 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes, zero boredom for me. Anyway.
You're easily entertained.
Yeah, it's like I need a coin for the fucking ferryman, bruh.
Look.
Yeah, this song started off so good, no?
Actually,
I was really hooked again with this little intro, and it came
Bat out of hell.
Yeah, all that. I just gotta say that, unless I'm mistaken, this whole song is about live fast, die young, and make sure we have a coin for the ferryman. And if that's not it, I could not figure the fuck out what it was about.
Ding, ding, ding.
And it seemed a little weird, just... seem kind of like oxymoronic to Feed the Machine, and I don't understand how they fit the same central theme. Maybe I'm just not seeing the brilliance here, but that's okay. Because musically, it blew my fucking mind. Chad sounds like Chad. He always sounds like Chad.
He sounds like him, yeah.
Like the same voice, different words.
Which is a criticism they get a lot. But
So, just to bring a connection to Feed the Machine. So you brought up a point before saying like feeding the machine is like we buy technology, we buy stuff, we're feeding stuff. So bring the coin to the ferryman. We're just giving money to this ferryman all the time. So we're feeding the retail and everything.
So if I understand correctly, you're saying that this lifestyle is almost a satirical criticism of what was previously described in the previous song.
So for making me sound smarter, yes.
Yeah, it does.
See, I think that this is the party song on this album.
No, it's one of.
It's one of, but I think it's because what they do, they tend to make that their second track. Like on Here and Now, it was Bottoms Up.
Yeah.
On Dark Horse, it was Burn It to the Ground. On this one, it's Coin for the Ferryman, and it's that like heavy riff bass, but like the lyrics are about partying and we're young and live fast, die young, whatever.
Or but maybe that's his brilliance by he's doing that, but he's dropping actually intelligence.
But there was a certain
because that's it. It's
self-awareness in this song that is not always present in the Live Fast, Die Young. It's more like he was very aware of their mortality, and there's almost like a degree of, like normally when you encounter this song, it's about living on the edge and not caring if you die. This song was more like live on the edge and you're going to die, but if you do, it's worth it and be prepared for it.
But I think that they tend to do that in general when they're even when they're at their sleaziest and dirtiest. He tends to have an introspection that's not present in, for example, Pitbull.
Okay.
Or other party artists like that. Like in Bottoms Up, the song is really about like we are going to drink until we die, and it's probably going to happen soon the way we're doing it. So let's just fucking burn it to the ground. Just a title like "Burn It to the Ground" is like we are burning everything down.
And
it's on fire too.
And then it's also got like that double entendre of we're almost like giving away our money, contributing to our death.
Exactly. Which again, Feed the Machine. Is this my fault? Am I the one doing this?
Fucking epiphany. I completely understand the connection between these two songs now.
But see, like I like what you said because it's like you're choosing to live young and die young by doing stupidity. But bring a coin because you gotta be prepared. By you making these choices, you might die or fuck up. It could be with drugs, it could be in a relationship, it could be anything in life.
And take the consequences of your actions and understand them and shit. Yeah, I like this.
But sorry.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I give this a 4.5 on 5 again because I found it a little vague and whatever. Pretty much the same as the other song. I felt like they were really good peas in a pod together, and they worked really well together, and I enjoyed it. I'm loving the first 10 minutes of this album so far.
I'm gonna give it a 4 again, because it's a great song. Nothing bad to say about it. It's heavy, it rocks. The lyrics or whatever. I mean, I didn't look too far into it. It's a good Nickelback track, and I don't have too much more to say about it.
There was a little solo in this one, I think.
There's usually a solo.
Obviously.
They usually do that.
Might not be long one. So if the message I thought of was actually clear, then I love this song. If it's not, I don't know what the fuck the song was talking about. But it was a good and fun song, so I gave it a 4. And you know what I was thinking? Just like the girl on fire from the game of, what's that movie, The Hunger Games? This song was on fire.
Oh.
On fire.
You want to go first?
Man, I always want to go first, but lately the YouTube people have been saying I talk too much and I suck at listening.
All right,
so
Stefu. So what I'm going to say is, because I'm taking the initiative here, is I don't think Nickelback do love songs. Well, I think it's their weakest point. Like I think they do it well enough to get hits on the radio and to get little girls going, ah!
I really felt that because he's single now, his love songs are just...
Is he single?
Yeah, he's divorced.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of what this is.
I thought he was dating somebody after Avril.
Oh, hold on. So I'm going to give a shout out to Genius Lyrics because you helped me look at lyrics, because if not, I wouldn't look at them. And I was reading one of the comments from someone, and it was like their headline. So there's a rumor about this song. It's actually about his divorce with Avril. Mm-hmm. And I actually pronounced the name right. So Avril. High five to me.
It's Avril.
Avril Lavigne?
Avril.
No, it's Avril. It's Avril.
It's Avril fucking Lavigne. Who? There's a rumor that she's dead. She's been dead since like 2005, and this is a copy.
That's
he killed her and then he married her copy.
He bottoms up there. I guess.
Yeah.
But I have to say this was an interesting love song. Just from I'm always gonna look at the lyrics before everything else in my head. But it was such an endearing song. He's like, look, I have so much emotions for you. I could write any fucking song, but really, what's the fucking point if you're not gonna listen to it?
You know what it was? It was the a tear drops on the page line that really I was like, no, that's
You know why
enough.
the page
And
is?
the chorus is catchy as fuck, and it's a power ballad, and
It's exactly
That page is his divorce papers.
fine,
He's gonna tear on that
fine,
bitch.
whatever. But first off, no, that didn't happen.
I
Fuck
don't
you.
know
You're
why
you're not living in a movie. Second
never
off, you never know, but I cringed.
Isn't life an old movie? Like
And
No,
I
but-
love a power ballad when it does it
This is so
right,
80s.
and it is really 80s. I don't
But like, look, I gotta say,
Cemetery Gates.
there was at least
Pantera.
something to it, right?
There's your power ballad.
Journey.
Fucking Journey.
Okay, look,
mean-
those guys. Like, I can't believe I'm defending Chad so much here, but there is something to the way he did this song that, compared to, let's say, every other song of this nature I've heard in the last 5 years, there was almost like a niche to it. He found a way to make it about something so specifically different that it actually is about something different than all the other breakup love songs. I can't, like.
Okay, so
And
Ed
I
Sheeran.
appreciate
What's
it.
that song?
Which one?
Take me into your loving arms, kiss me under the light of... Like, that song I appreciate because...
I like want
It's-
to put you on my radio right now and just listen to it. You have such a
Okay.
beautiful voice.
Oh, thank
But,
you.
no problem.
What was I saying? Ed Sheeran, who also has a beautiful voice.
lovely.
Yeah, but that song is about, you can tell that it's about the staying power of love and about how...
He's so gonna
But
play
you
this
can-
song in a
but
fucking
at the
arena
same
and
time-
Of course he is. Of course he
And
is.
he's
And
gonna make
people are going to go
every
crazy and
single-
people are going to
but
sing
with
along.
this song, I appreciated it, right? Because, I mean, I have written songs about ex-girlfriends who will never hear the songs I wrote about them.
Unlike him.
And I suppose from my weird anecdotal experience, I can
Oh.
actually relate to exactly what he's going on about in this, right? And so I appreciated that little niche. However, it's a fucking bland song.
Hold on. He made
Like-
this song to say "fuck you" to Avril. Actually, he's gonna play this and he's gonna fuck so many chicks because this is the perfect.
Well, to
panty
be
dropper
And
song.
then
fair,
he's going to write
if
another
I
stripper song
understand-
about that. There
There
you
you
go.
go.
So...
I
As we'll
just
get
thought
to
about that.
later on another song, it wasn't exactly like being married to Avril prevented
Oh,
him
God.
from doing this. So
Whoa, hold on. You just opened a can of worms, and I can't wait to talk about this.
we'll get to
Coming
it on
up
that
next.
next one. I only gave this like a 3.5 on 5 because honestly, it's not like a great song. This is what I mean about how Nickelback can write shit that sounds exactly like every other fucking Nickelback sometimes.
Yeah.
And whereas the other two had flair, personality, and the good kind of edge, this
Radio song.
this was like, what's the difference between this and look at this photograph? I mean, yeah, there's differences, but like the whole feel, the progression, everything, it was just sappy and weak and safe, and there was no life
Perfect
in
radio
this song
song.
outside of the lyrics. Weirdly, it was like the opposite of the last song for me.
I'm going to give it a 3 because I don't even think that this song fits on this album. I think this is the one song that doesn't follow any sort of... doesn't fall into the theme.
Or a story.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it doesn't fit the narrative.
I didn't even think about it.
It's just a radio song to be a radio song. It's a power ballad by numbers. The guitar intro is cool. The chorus is catchy, but that's about it, and it doesn't do too much for me. So
okay,
that's it.
so for just the general pop version of this song, like what it is, it's a pop song,
Yeah.
and it's a 4 because it's fun and catchy.
Okay.
Honestly, one thing we all forgot is the video.
Shit.
So what you guys think of the video? And I gave it a
Boring.
3.5.
Boring.
I'm sitting in a room.
Playing instruments in the room, girl walking around. I have seen a million videos that look exactly like that video. However, Chad has cut his hair.
No, you son of a gun! I was going with that.
Did I steal your
Yes,
thunder?
I was gonna be like, "Fuck."
That's been done, guys.
I hate
That's
you.
been done.
No, because Chad had that stupid dog haircut, like those little tiny dogs with the flappy ears. He had that stupid haircut for
Don't
years,
kill me.
and then he shaved his head. He looked like the fucking lead singer from Imagine Dragons, but old.
So okay, look, a band like Avenged Sevenfold, like they've done this. I fucking love Avenged
Yeah, they're
Sevenfold.
great, but I
I
felt bad for the
love
guy's
Avenged
throat.
Sevenfold.
Yeah.
But like you sit, they have videos where they're sitting in a room just playing their fucking
but
instruments.
they're
But one of those videos is about their drummer had just died and they released an album in his memory, right? So they're sitting in a room and they're really looking somber as fuck, and you can feel the emotion. And another one, it's "Seize the Day," which is a
That's
power
one of
ballad
the
from City of
greatest
Evil.
song.
That song is amazing.
But I feel
And
like you just
you watch
destroyed
you
Nickelback
watch
right now.
I don't like this song because of a power ballad like Seize the
No,
Day that does it
because-
so well.
I see where you're
And-
coming from, and I'm completely with you.
It must be nice to destroy Nickelback like that. Must be nice.
It is. Who does not love a good anthem about poor people? Like, from the perspective of poor people, being like, it must be nice that you think life is easy, you rich fucker, with like Dr. Seuss lyrics. It's awesome. I fucking love this jam. I don't like. It's not like the most serious fucking song in the world, but it's
upbeat
so
and fun.
so fun.
See, I saw this song as like when I first heard it, I thought of Chad Kroeger looking back on the last 3 or 4 albums and having songs that were mostly about strippers and partying and whatever and being like, and now that they've come to this album where they really felt like they needed to say something and do something and looking back on that and being like, what the fuck were you doing past Chad Kroeger?
Yeah.
And I felt like he penned this song to himself, kind of like, well, that must be fucking nice, living each day in paradise and not giving a fuck about anything.
But
And,
like,
like,
What he-
there
he just
were a
does that.
few lyrics in it that kind of tied it into the idea of just having access to rich parents or something like that, like a bit of privilege.
Yeah.
Or just like nepotism, right? Like, or something like that. That was kind of like, it must be nice. And I just pictured that like really rich white girl who's getting her Starbucks and happens to see some racist thing happen and is like completely devastated and like she can't even handle it and blah blah blah
Yeah.
because her life is so cushy that
Like she's never had that experience.
and so it must really be nice to live in an existence where you don't have to have that kind of stress.
Yeah.
And that's but I see where you're coming from too, and I think he is being a little like aware with it, and he kind of, as we even discussed earlier, perpetuated this himself
Exactly.
for a long time. And I appreciate this song. This song was really fucking cool to me.
Yeah.
And I love how silly it is, man. Any song that has you being able to go engine number 9 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And
It's a fucking dancey track. And again, we're talking about the drummer and just how underappreciated he is, where he just like, it's simple, but he gets that 4 on the floor dance beat that's gonna get people just moving and grooving, and
This is the perfect barbecue bar song.
that's it.
That
It works
gets
in
you
it
pumped.
works in a club, it works at a barbecue, it works at a picnic, it works at a fucking
You'll
venue.
hear this
It's
on
like
Fluffs. You'll hear this in Fluffs.
yeah.
Yo,
Yeah. You'll hear it anywhere, man. It's an all around, all accepting, all ranging.
It's that typical Nickelback song.
It was
It
at
is.
about this. I was listening to the album for the first time. I was chatting with Syd actually, and I got to
Cute.
about here where it clicked that they really are stripper music.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it was about this song where it was like, oh fuck, man, I could just picture the cadence of a girl's ass swinging to this and stuff. And I'm
It
like,
must be nice you can have a good job and I have to go
But
strip tonight.
but again, and I mean, never been to a strip club. Do you believe that? And they bump shit like Disturbed, Marilyn Manson, fucking Motley Crue, whatever else. And the difference between Nickelback and bands like that is that Nickelback can still get away with being played at a family-friendly environment. Like
Yeah.
they toe that line and they can.
you won't hear
Whereas
the sickness.
yeah, you know, then you're not gonna play fucking The Beautiful People at a picnic,
nope.
but
I
you
actually did that once at
I
work.
mean,
I was
I
playing,
personally
I was making
would,
a
but-
sandwich at Subway because I was working there, and I played Down with the Sickness, and I didn't play the edited version. So it's like, you know, the
No,
ending,
mommy,
you
don't
know,
do it
yeah.
again.
And the
I
people were
fucking
just
promise.
looking at me, and I'm just like, yeah, I can't play this at work.
Oh,
But you
can't
can play
that at work.
Nickelback at work.
Yeah, you can play Photograph.
You
You
can
can play
play-
fucking Lullaby.
You
You
can
can
play
play.
the stripper song from the
Yeah.
last 2 albums ago.
You can
There you go.
definitely play most of their stuff. I like this one though. I can tell you that it's not like this song makes you happy. It's
Yeah.
one of those
It's a fun
songs
song.
where like even if you're having a bad day, you're just like ding ding ding
It's a
ding,
plus.
and you're just like bopping your head, and it's so fucking good, man. 4.5 on 5. I'm surprised that really the first 4 songs, I think 3 of them are like fucking near perfect.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
surprised you gave the song with the most easy lyrics a high mark.
It's not so easy though. The song manages to take silly
Red
and
fish, blue
deliver
fish,
a
1,
really
2,
powerful
3.
fucking point to it, right? Like it's saying that like even if you look at the silliness, it's your perception of life is basically a Dr. Seuss rhyme book.
That's true.
And I think that in and of itself is mad deep. I'm impressed by Kroger's ability to put these songs together so far, given he is the guy who actually wrote the lyrics. I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
other ones do too. Like we said, don't know the rest of the
So
band.
you gave it a 4.5? You?
I'm gonna give it a 4.5 as well. This is my favorite song so far on the album. I like Feed the Machine, but again, it was the production. Whereas I feel like on this one, the heavy production works. It works just because it is that either that club song or that rock song, and it works in both settings.
Right.
And I think the production helps that.
This is a very rare moment for me. I gave it a 5.
Ooh,
Just
wow.
because it was
Nah,
so.
this guy gets 2s like it's fucking candy.
Well, you're gonna get it too soon too. It was.
And
a
it's
5
Nickelback that's
because
getting the 5.
It was just fun. It was easy. It was cheesy. It's like Nickelback is underappreciated because they're in the wrong era. If they were in the 80s, these would be like one of the gods of rock.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they were back in the 80s, they'd be a god of rock.
But then, like,
man.
after the reign of the 90s, all that depressing shit, now we look at music differently.
It's true.
So,
It's true. It's damn true. A little Kurt Angle reference right there for my homies.
All right, Syd, how did you feel after the rain? Were you wet?
oh, so wet.
Ew.
So wet. I really,
Chad did that to you.
he does it to me a lot.
He does that to a lot of
He gives me
soccer
feelings
moms.
that I shouldn't feel for another
And
man.
You and every
Maybe I
other
should. I don't know.
40-year-old soccer mom out there.
You know, and there are people that I never thought I'd relate to this much. I
there's
want to
some
go buy a
soccer moms?
minivan and just
Get wet.
That's what
Inside it
happens
to
when
After the
when you
Rain.
listen to Nickelback, you just get inspired.
So shut the fuck up, guys.
I
Because I want to say that I like this song, and I know you guys. We'll get to how you guys felt. I dug this song a lot. I like the riff. I felt like it was a little bit of a departure for them. It's got that like Genesis tom thing going on in the verse. That really heavy like
How dare
anthemic
you
thing.
say Genesis.
I dare, but no, I like this track a lot, and I felt like the chorus lifted it up even higher. It's a great single. It's gonna be a single for sure.
Chorus? You say the chorus?
Yeah,
Okay.
I felt like the chorus was great. I felt like it lifted it up to another level. I like it when a song takes a left turn though, and gives you something that's like even if it's a poppy left turn and like a really major left turn. I like the way that, and I think this band knows how to write hooks. That's
we're-
one thing they know how to do.
I'm going to make a really
Go
bad
for it.
joke right now. So right now I can feel like we might be at a mistrial here because we're a jury, like a hung jury. And I completely disagree with that song because I felt this song was the worst song on the album.
All right.
No, I really tried to make a good joke there. It was really bad.
It was a terrible joke.
I was referencing to Bill Cosby. It was really bad.
Oof.
And you wanted to go one
Rough.
step further. Just make sure you all know how bad his joke
Yeah,
was.
please comment on how bad that was.
I honestly can't remember what this song is about. I didn't actually write it down. And After the Rain, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what it's about. I just
It's.
know.
I think it's one of those uplifting like.
It's about change. It's accepting that you might need change in your relationships.
That's it.
Okay.
And just in life in general, like everybody feels like.
This is a skip.
I really liked the verses though. The way he delivered the verses
Yeah, I agree
was
with
really
that.
amazing to me actually because it was different. It made me realize that they have an ability that I never saw before. And now that I've been reviewing a lot of albums, one of the things that is almost the trap of bands like this is all their verses, and it's not the choruses, but the verses tend to follow a very similar structure. Similar, there's 2 or 3 real flows, as you would call them in the hip hop, you know?
Yeah.
And Nickelback knows how to write a distinct and unique flow
Yeah.
for their verses on every song.
Yeah.
And that little difference actually justifies them as Band of the Decade, whereas once upon a time I would have maybe criticized them a lot more for that title. And I get kind of why they're better than your average band at this point on the album is what clicked. And then the chorus came in, and I'm kind of... I appreciate a left turn like you do, but I felt like this was a forced, like wedged in left turn for me.
Fair enough.
It wasn't smooth. It was a jagged experience, and it went almost like too much off core. Like they were writing an alternative song, and then made sure to let you know their pop. And that's kind of what I felt with it. Like they wanted to just make sure you could sing along to something, and I it doesn't make it bad. It just makes it less good than maybe Must Be Nice would have been. So it's okay. It's a good. I would still listen to this. So far, I'm still impressed with the album. I can see how this snuck its way more into the middle of the album and isn't in like the beginning or the end.
Yeah.
For me, it's a 4. It's not bad. It's just not great.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I really like the track. I think it wasn't supposed to be an album opener or an album closer. It's not supposed to be that that big ending number, but it does what it needs to do really, really well. It's a left turn in terms of the album. I think it's still It fits the theme. I
It
thought
does.
lyrically it was also really nice. I really like the lyrics on this track. I really like the chorus. I really like the hook. I like the main riff. I like the drumming. Yeah, I thought it was cool. So 4.5.
So my thoughts on this song, to make it fast, was I really felt like this song could have been like their big hit. It could have been like Photograph or How You Remind Me,
Yeah.
but they failed at where they failed the most was the chorus, because the chorus wasn't radio friendly or catchy or influential enough. So that's why this song for me is getting a famous 2.5,
Ooh.
because it was a
Yeah.
complete failure.
Okay.
Shit. You see that disparity though.
Yeah, no.
That's the polarizing effect that Nickelback has.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the best part about having multiple people doing these album reviews rather than one dude with one opinion, because you
one guy,
actually
one
get to
dude.
see some contrast. But anyway, we could also say that somebody's opinion should go all the way for the river.
I'm starting to feel like, okay, so yeah, the song is For the River, right? So I'm starting to feel like these songs are just easy, like one-line jokes with the titles. It's kind of like your old man, and you're sitting down and he's talking to you, and he's like, "Run for the hills," right? And then so I took it to the next level.
Is that an Iron Maiden joke?
Not at
It's an
all.
old man, run for your life.
Not at all. And then it's like you're with your friend and he's with a hot girl and he's like, "You're gonna have to take one and take the ugly girl." So you're like, "I want to run for the hills, but instead we're gonna run for the river." So that's how I felt about this song.
Okay.
I mean, the only part of that where like I'm seeing a correlation is that I felt like this is definitely stripper music. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. To me, this was so fun and dancey, and
We're Canadian, so we're gonna throw loonies at you now.
but I thought the lyrics were interesting. I took this as like an anti-conformity anthem, which
Oh my God.
fits like the theme of the album,
Yeah.
and it makes sense even placement-wise because the previous song was about change and shit. And I guess the idea of a river running free is supposed to be like the symbolism we're supposed to pull there, and he's trying to get to that point where his spirit or his personality can be free, and it's like his desire to escape the normative rules in society and shit. And granted, it's loose and a little bit like not direct. That's not a bad thing. It's just I like this one. I like the little breakdown thing with the solos. I like the feel of it, but the chorus did
Sucked.
not like it 100. I like the pre-chorus a lot. That like deeper voice thing he did,
Yeah.
but the
Electronic, yeah.
chorus was a bit of a letdown. It was like you're at the strip club and everything's good, and then all of a
You get
sudden
that
the
ugly
song
stripper.
ends, and it's just over. The lights come on and get the fuck out.
The-
And it's fucking 50 more
daylight.
dollars than you thought it was gonna be for that lap
Exactly.
dance.
It's
Yeah.
like the lights come on and then you actually realize the stripper's butt ugly.
But that's how I felt about the chorus. But the rest of the song was really, really like solid. Actually, again, impressive, new, distinct, and not terrible lyrics. I'm cool with this one.
Yeah. I for me it was unremarkable. Like I like the riff a lot. I usually like the riffs a lot. Again, verse was nice, had a nice flow. Pre-chorus was nice. I agree with you. The chorus wasn't there, really. The hook wasn't there. The solo was sweet. Nice little breakdown into the solo. But again, they have had these kind of songs where he's described like, what the fuck is around me? I need to get away from this. I'm blanking on the title right now. It's another track they had that did this better.
Right.
Stick it in your mouth.
No. Great title for a song. I like that. It's deep. Stick it in your mouth deep. But
Poor girl. Poor girl. Take a
No,
little
I
Chad.
get what you're saying. It's just to you, it's like a lighter version of that song.
yeah,
So
exactly.
far with this album,
Hollywood is plastic and easy on the eyes. What the fuck is that
I
song?
have no idea. I'm not the biggest Nickelback fan. I might actually be. This album might have
am.
converted me. Like I am never been so willing to go listen to older Nickelback as I am after hearing this
it's
album.
like I want
for
to
real.
defend you now.
It's
I'm
like
gonna
I
be,
want to go out there so I can sound smart defending you,
that's
not
pretty
just like whatever. I want to know which albums I can't defend
Well,
and which
follow
ones I
them.
can.
hard. You know what's the great part is in the background we have a little laptop right now.
Yeah.
And while he's saying this, you can clearly see that he doesn't follow Nickelback, and he should now.
I don't follow anyone on Spotify.
You
and
should.
I probably should.
You
I
follow friend activity clarity.
Yeah, but
There it
it's
is.
because Clarity is a guy I've known him in real life
Cool.
since like 2012. So, but
So what you give this, Mark?
I gave this a 4 because it's not like perfect by any means, but it's also one of those songs I could fucking jam to if I wanted to. It's a good tone, context appropriate song.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5, just because for me, if your chorus isn't there, your song isn't there.
Yes.
Like
Okay.
Yes.
especially on a pop record, you need your hook. You know, on a progressive record or on a jazz record or
Alternative.
anything like that,
Or indie.
you don't necessarily need the hook because it's more about the atmosphere and it's more about the flow of the album than it is about the song. But on a record that focuses on songs, you need your hook, and they just
Okay.
don't have it here. And so
I'm
3.5
starting
for me.
to see that, like, not like the message at all, but in a lot of his songs right now, it's either a home run with the chorus or he's failed epically. And one of the, like, that's why I gave this one just a 3. I gave it a 3. I actually wanted to give it a 2.5. The reason why I gave it a 3 is because of the instruments, like how the guitar came in with the solo
so
and
strong.
everything. And that was why, like,
Yeah.
if you took out all the music of him singing or his lyrics, this song would be a 5 because this is like,
But-
oh wow,
But I just
Yeah.
want to say one thing that you just inspired me here for.
lovely.
I would rather have him experiment enough to create that hit or miss experience rather than create like a blender effect type thing where everything is equally good but all kind of sounds the same.
Well,
Because that's like the problem with, let's say, a band like Seether or Incubus, where when I did review their albums, in the middle of the album, it kind of like, it lost the distinction
yeah, and
that
it happens in a lot of
Nickelback has
albums.
brought with each track.
Yeah.
Right?
But-
And that requires a certain level of missing with your hits. And I'm okay with that. But I still think this wasn't. Well, I mean, I like rap a lot more, and sometimes
But
rap
I
hooks
have
don't
a-
drive it home. So the verses are strong, and the pre-hook is really fucking strong. And I can't ignore that.
It's just like like when a loaf of bread falls flat, you know? It's the
Yeah.
same thing as
That's
this song.
random.
It's like it's rising, it's going
Well,
somewhere, and then just
I'm
nothing.
gonna just not introduce, but talk about like a fast thing with an artist. There's an artist who became majorly popular in this decade, Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, and he
Yeah.
just announced that he's gonna stop making albums. But he says he wasn't gonna stop making music. And I feel like if you're gonna be an artist and you want to experiment, release the song as a single, like by itself, like not a mixtape, but just release your experiments
Like,
by itself.
keep in mind
'cause you're
that
losing
that
the effect
only,
of the CD.
that only really works
Yeah.
in hip hop. It doesn't
says?
work
I mean,
in
the-
rock
Maybe
music.
because it hasn't been done yet.
There's another Canadian band called Protest the Hero that did this with their last EP. They released a song a month for 6 months. And what they did was they were writing the songs as they were releasing them. So like they wrote a song and then they released it, and then they wrote another song and then they released it, and they wrote another song and then they released it. And it was and the whole after effect was they released the EP, and it's a solid EP. But I think that they came out and said they would have felt a little better if they'd had a little more time to really work the songs together and really make them more of a cohesive piece as opposed to just like song.
Then what you do is go on, like, obviously I'm going to use Spotify as an example. Use Spotify, make a playlist called Unpolished, and just drop your songs.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
but I mean, it's not always that simple. Like
saying
sometimes you
it
might
is.
have a like. All I'm saying is, I would rather have an artist choose to put a song on an album that's risky,
Did you, by chance...
but choose to do it, than to just pop off singles, because
Yeah.
popping off singles has almost killed the art of the album.
Fine.
And-
But
Yeah.
maybe the art of the wow. The art of the album is dying out because of internet. And
I would.
It's
that's what I
to
see.
me an album is like a solid episode of a TV show or a good book or
Yeah.
or a good short story or whatever. Like there's something to be said for the art of putting songs together that work as a collection as
Everything
well
down
as
to the
as
order
You know
of
individual
what
them.
that
tracks.
thing of dropping a song each month was? Because you're talking about an episode of TV, so an episode of song, right? So
Right,
that's it.
right, but then you have to
But-
put it together, and it has to work as a collection. When a
So there's
season
a
of a
season.
show doesn't work
That's the
together,
season.
right? But when it doesn't work,
But it's like
you,
the difference
you drop
between
away from
hold
that
on.
show, right?
We
Yeah,
can
we
compare
can
it
have
like
that.
that's the difference between like reality TV and the way they script that versus like actually scripted BBC shit, you know? And the quality is different. Look, I don't think the art of the album is dying. All I think is the art of album sales is dead.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Because of online.
If you look, there are more and more artists I find lately trying to recreate the album experience as opposed to like 8 years ago when it seemed to be almost dead in the middle for a while.
Yeah,
And now the singles game, albeit profitable, isn't the artistic move.
I think what's happening is artists are trying to find new ways to reinvent what the album is. So you take an artist like Chance the Rapper, right? Who his last mixtape, he didn't sell any individual copies of it. He won 3 fucking Grammys for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Off of no
Yeah, I know
sales.
what you mean.
And
Off of no
Yeah,
sales.
because that was that gospel flow too, eh?
Yeah. And it's coming from
weird.
an artist and a musician's perspective. Like
He
I
made
went to go
money off
see him
that.
live, and he
That's amazing.
he kills it. He kills it. But he kills it because it's music. He's got his live band, and he's changing the songs. He's changing the flows. He's changing the keys even. Like he sings Cocoa Butter Kisses like a step up from what it is on the album, and it's great, it's different, and you see that artistry in it, and I think that bands really need. Anyway, we're getting a little off topic here.
But it's good. This is good stuff, especially when talking about Nickelback. You know, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so I had something to say to you, HSR.
What?
You have a lovely home.
Thanks, buddy. I'm gonna start this shit. First of all, this song's about Chad here and his cheating obsession. So apparently he had like this fiance back in the day, and then cheated on her with a stripper, and ended up dating said stripper. Then cheated on said stripper with Avril Lavigne, and then started dating Avril Lavigne, and then lost Avril Lavigne because he cheated on her too. And well, when you know that, it's very honest is all I can say, and you can hear can just hear in the way he's singing it that he's finally starting to feel some shame almost for this life that he's lived. He is not happy with himself in this moment. He's starting to realize,
because he'll be fist deep into another stripper.
But that's the
That's
thing.
Chad fucking Kroger.
It's that being fist
You're
deep.
taking notes. You're judging.
See, like I look at it like I look at it like when you fuck a lot of people over a period of time, it gets boring.
He's gonna take acid off some stripper's tit, and he's gonna be happy.
When you go home at the end of this song, and she's no longer there, and now you're alone. All I'm saying, like, when you go home and she's no longer there, dude, it's just, you can see that he's realizing there are now serious consequences for his actions over the course of his life, and that maybe this isn't the smartest thing. Like, he should not be cheating so indiscriminately as he has done in the past. And just the pain in his voice and the music fits it so fucking perfectly. This chorus was great.
Yeah.
The way it progresses, it kind of tells a bit of a story. Like, he's just praying things are going to work out, and it doesn't, because never actually works out. And you're homeless in a sense because of it. And I loved it. I thought it was beautiful.
Wow.
I like the track. I thought it was good. I like the chorus. I don't really have too much more to say about the lyrics, except to say that, this is a power ballad that I think they did well.
Yeah.
Whereas, we were talking about Song on Fire earlier, and that was just a straight-up love song, and I feel like they never do that as well. But in terms of storytelling, I think that Chad Kroger has proven himself time and again to be a very competent, very capable storyteller.
Yeah.
And I know you guys don't like Photograph, but I think that that's a great example of that.
It's a good song. I just don't like it.
No, it's a
Okay,
good song.
fair
It's
enough.
just fun to make fun of.
Yeah, but I think the lyrics to that song are really, like, they really hit home. It's not deep, but it is that memory of, like, I've sat there and looked at pictures from like 5-10 years ago, and I've been like, holy shit, what?
Especially
Every
since,
time I do, it makes me like, that's a real feeling. That's a real feeling, and I think he does that really well when he's talking about something honest and
Does he have
something
kids?
naked. Little Krugers.
Does he?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's like little gremlins walking around.
I mean, he.
Like in the fire in the ground.
But no, I get where you're coming from, and I think that's what really drew me to it, is how honest this song was. Like, look, some of these songs kind of feel like he's trying to write about something. This song was almost like a confession. Like, like, this is what he really meant to write to Avril instead of the other one, you know? I said Avril, he said complicated. Well done, good sir.
You guys are funny.
So I'm a piece of shit, because I think this song was fucking awful. What? It was garbage.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. No, I'm sorry. It was boring. It made me want to skip it. You can have as much meaning as you want, but the song was shit.
It's a 5, dude.
Oh, yeah.
5.
Your 5 means nothing to me, sir.
That's 5.
Nothing.
This is a perfect fucking song.
Can you edit one part for this for me? At this moment, I want you to put fucking Michael Scott screaming no from The Office. No, no, no. Because I disagree.
I think that would be funny.
I think it would be. No, I'm probably not going to do it.
I know you won't,
I'm
but
lazy.
Yeah.
But they can picture it based off of what you just said.
There you go.
And so they can have that imagery. But yeah.
God, this song was awful. I just couldn't get into it. I was lying in my bed and I'm just like,
just losing wood.
There was no wood. There's no wood.
This song is so good.
Because the problem is, it's like, I'll use if we're talking Nickelback, we're talking strippers and everything. So it's like a girl teasing you, and then you get blue balls. And this is how the CD is. This CD is so out of nowhere. It's fucking pumping. You're hard. You're good to go. You're partying, and then you get this fucking random shit. And I'm just like, why? Why do I have to like you? It's so misleading, this album, at times too, because it's Feed the Machine. It's like, oh, maybe this is going to be inspirational. Maybe we're going to hear some good topics.
It is inspirational with a good topic. It fits the album theme.
No, it doesn't. Not for me.
Well, like the album theme.
I don't care about his divorce.
It's not about his divorce. It's about his realizing that on the subject of change and trying to break out of the box, that maybe as a rock star he doesn't have to fuck all the hoes.
Oh God!
That's kind of what he's trying to say.
Well, maybe he should have
with
done that after he made
Yes, that's the point. He's saying, "You're right, Jay. I should not have done this after."
Yes, fine, but the message
the
wasn't
song.
there.
The song is for you.
It's really
for you.
right. Like it's you're agreeing with
It's
the song.
a skip.
Look, I get that it's blender to you. To me, this is perfection.
Oh, lovely.
Sid, and you?
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Oh, I love this time. I'm going to give it a 1.
Oh, good lord.
I'm
finally.
giving it a 4. Great song, great chorus.
Actually, no, I'm going to give it a 2 so I can say deuces to this song.
I'm sorry about the betrayal.
Act 3.
That
Yeah,
the
Act
Betrayal
3.
Act 3 that you have now given to us because we love this song and you're just.
Fuck, if I knew anything from Shakespeare, I would stab you all in the back. I got this one if you want.
No, hold on. There's a part, Act 1, as we know, because there's the track list, and that's later on. And this is Act 3, but nowhere is Act 2.
Yeah, I really want that.
So if somebody knows where Act 2 is at this point, one of you like super hard fans or whatever, please comment below and let me know, because I'm mad curious. But...
I'm gonna throw this out there. I think that's part of the betrayal. You don't get an Act 2.
I get it.
Like you get Act 3 first, and then you get the beginning.
The story comes out after.
That is
the beginning of the betrayal is the end of the album, and
all right,
like
Chad, I'll give it to you.
Or maybe
well played.
Act 2 is him with the strippers.
Maybe
that's just Act 2 is his whole life.
That's it. Because we all know he's gonna be with some stripper in like.
But
2
I
weeks.
like this song though. I like what was really cool about this song is again how fucking drastically different it felt from everything else. It came in with that longer intro, right?
That like
nothing
acoustic
else,
intro,
and
really
nothing
clean,
else has
yeah.
anything that long.
It was kind of medieval. I liked it that.
And then it just delves right back into that harder Nickelback sound that we've been experiencing on this album, the better side. And the lyrics aren't very direct, but clearly questioning the consequences of betrayal.
Yeah.
And what you actually get when the dust settles after you've turned your back on it, like right after his cheating song, just to give you some context as to maybe some of where he's going from, you know, like if you cheat, you're going to lose your girl. If you betray the people that you trust and you lose that, bad things happen.
Yeah.
With a bit of repetition at the end.
You want to go?
Well, what I'm just gonna say is right now we're saying he cheated, but in this song I felt like maybe there's more to the story. I feel like they both cheated. I feel like he cheated, he got caught, and she went after him, and maybe she fucked a friend or something.
That's possible.
And it's like maybe that's the betrayal because she like maybe something happened in his life where it might not even be Avril. Maybe we're putting so much on Avril.
Well, I'm saying it's more of a macro. For me, it's not about. I use that as an example of what the song's about.
No, I understand.
But it's very loose. It's about when you betray people, bad things happen to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that I think this is the best song that Nickelback has ever recorded.
Okay.
I love a good metal jam, man, and this song it's got everything. It's tight as fuck. It's got the urgency. It's twisting and turning. You don't know what's gonna come next. Lyrically, I think you're right. I think he touches on some themes that are a little bit bigger, a little more grandiose than what he usually touches on. I think it can apply to a lot of situations in life. And yeah, man, I love this track, and kudos to them for recording something like this late in their career, because a lot of bands just drop off and they kind of stop trying 20 years in. But this track is fire, man. This song is on fire.
Honestly, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this may be the strongest and most mature album Nickelback has ever created.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
I think so too.
So me, I just thought it was okay. I didn't really love it. I didn't hate it. So I'm not going to diss it and I'm not going to praise it. It had a nice beginning, I'll give you that. But I kind of lost interest. At this point of the CD, I was just like, okay, I'm getting a little bit fed up. I want to hear more like deeper lyrics and maybe a deeper sound, like more of something intelligent. I just felt like it was just repeating and like rewashing the old laundry he has.
I feel like
and just the CD.
I'm just disagreeing with the idea that these lyrics aren't deep. See, I can like agree with almost everything else and understand it, but I just have to defend it. This was a pretty deep song in terms of lyrics, and if what you said about the betrayal is even quasi true, then it's even like next level deep in terms of placement and the
Everything
title,
I say is 100% true. I'm just
When
throwing
I
that
say
out there.
it's deep, I mean what I'm gonna just clarify something for
Okay.
all the viewers. When I talk deep, I'm like I want to sit down and really sit down and think about it. And I didn't feel like I had to listen to the song to understand it. I felt like it jumped out at you. Maybe it was 2 listens and that's it. It's not like one of those songs where you're looking at the lyrics and you're finding so many hidden messages. The only way this is deeper is we found out Avril cheated on him the whole relationship and he never cheated.
Look,
if
I mean,
that happened, that's
I'm-
speculation.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna sit down and listen to this song again and again from an instrumental point of view because I want to
too.
hear the
Then you
little
can
twists
listen
and
to Akron.
turns and the little subtleties and things like that. I actually haven't even started to delve into the lyrics yet on this one, because I feel like there's a lot to delve into just in general on this track. And I mean, it's a nice chunky song. It's 4.5 minutes. It's not your single length.
You know, I feel like with this song, it could have been like, R. Kelly has Trapped in the Closet.
Yeah.
And
Nobody
it's kind
needs that.
No, but it's kind of like a documentary.
Yeah.
Type of sense.
Come on, you
Maybe-
haven't watched the first like 12
Nobody
of them?
needs that
There's like
shit.
30 minutes
Nobody
of
needed
it,
that shit. We
35.
didn't need that
Nobody
shit.
can
I'm
finish
glad
it.
nobody talks about that anymore.
Well, we still
R.
do.
Kelly
A lot
can
of people
fucking
still.
rot for all I care.
He won't,
I
'cause he's
agree.
just-
Give a shit.
I would say
Dave
don't.
Chappelle. I'm rich,
No,
bitch.
Yeah, but don't support R. Kelly because he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, don't
hold
support R.
on.
Kelly.
R. Kelly the person.
It's a big tangent, but
I'm gonna say it straight up. R. Kelly the person, like Chris Paul the person. Fuck them. Okay, fuck them. They can go straight and die.
look,
we get
I'm
that. But
willing
as
to give
musicians,
a lot
they're
of
good
people a
musicians.
pass. R. Kelly
good
doesn't get a
wrestler.
pass.
He's
no
a
more.
singer.
He's a great
He's
singer.
a
He
singer.
doesn't-
He's a
he
dancer.
just-
He does his thing.
He's
He's not Usher.
Let's go
I'm
back
saying
on
that
this.
better
R.
than
Kelly
Usher.
is.
Way
No,
better
I
than Usher.
disagree.
Guys.
But
Anyways.
R. Kelly's a touchy one. Let's go back into
Oh, that's
like
right. We're
this
here to
shit.
touch and burn the boundaries. Anyways, what you guys give it?
I give this a 4.5. I do think that the end of the song was a bit on the repetitive side. Like he didn't end it well for me, but otherwise is really great. I love this structure. Almost everything you said is true. I think there's layers to this song, like Shrek was describing with the onions.
yeah,
And it was one of the more interesting tracks I've heard in a long time. And just in terms of, like I was saying while we were listening to a chunk of it, it kind of reminded me of like a Coheed and Cambria epic,
yeah.
as opposed to like maybe a Nickelback song. But it fit really nicely with the theme of the album. I'm with this 4.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give this the only 5 I'm gonna give. Spoiler alert: I'm not giving any more 5s. This is the one. This is the track. This is the best song for me on the album and of fucking Nickelback's entire career.
Okay.
So, and I am a Nickelback fan, and I've loved a lot of their songs that they've released in the past, but this one hit me harder than most of them. So there you go. The Betrayal Act 3, fucking perfect.
So just like the Betrayal Act 3, I will give this a 3.
Okay.
Okay.
And unlike the silent majority, I will be outspoken and tell this. I'm not happy with the CD so far. So I'm gonna start this one off because I want to.
I guess it's decided.
Finally, it was just the easiest song to read. Like I didn't have to search. I didn't need to read I just needed to hear the lyrics once. It's basically, to me, this is a song about how a bunch of people can actually make a change.
Yeah.
And then if I really wanted to get really deep into it, and personally my opinions on the world right now, I thought it was a dig, because I felt like the silent majority, people didn't want to say they voted for you know who, or they didn't, and the silent majority won. Instead of standing up, it's like, I'm going to vote for you know who, her, and you know what, everybody voted for him, and that's why we're stuck with this problem in this world right now.
I really like this so what part. I think that's the thing that like really struck out to me the most. The so what, because I am a very passionate person that likes to bring up controversial subjects a lot.
I know.
And very often what I'm encountered by, but let's call it the masses, the people who, let's say, are not so passionate and charged.
The
as
food
I
for
might
the
be.
machine.
And these people will frequently literally say, so what? And that seems to be like a real attitude of mediocrity and complacency that exists in this world where, like, look, I can't do anything. What's the point? What can you do? Why do you care? Why do you try? Like, why would you even bother to write a song about something? Just get some tit shaking and make some money. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, when I listen to this song, it's like, you look at what Chad did here, and he's like, no, but
I'm shaking my tits.
it's stupid. It's mad cheesy, right? Like it's a very direct and in your face message, but written in a really honest and accurate
Well,
way.
that's one thing
right?
about Nickelback. They don't. It's to the point now that they know people make fun of him, like you were saying it before, and he don't give a fuck. He don't fucking care. He is the biggest dick in the locker room swinging. This is who I am. You're listening to me. You want to hate me, but you still buy my shit.
Wow.
That's it.
That's what you took
Yeah.
from this song?
No, not from this song. That's just
Okay.
from that chat there. This song, no, like you said, everything you said was right.
Okay.
For once, I agree with you. Like, but he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't have to hide behind the lyrics. Like some people want to be witty and like find the deep
Yeah,
meaning.
but
But he's like, I'm gonna
I
be
feel
straightforward with my
like-
opinion.
Yeah. What I want to say. Sorry.
Go on. I've talked a bunch.
I like that they put this song towards the end. I feel like this could have been the last track on the album because it really
Should have been.
sums up the ideas really, really well and in a really palatable way. Because in terms of the instrumentals, it's a really poppy tune, it's a really dancey tune, but lyrically it's not that like it's not that family friendly, club ready, whatever. It's still feeding off of the themes of like if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. If you're not saying anything, then nothing's gonna change. You're gonna end up with what you get.
You
and
can do something.
that's it. You can do something, and the chorus gets really big, and again, it's a typical structure, but it's really nice. It's really dancey. It's really bouncy. It goes down easy, and you know, it's a good Nickelback track. They're good at this.
I give this a 4.
I give it a 4 as well.
Like, it's
Yeah.
not perfect, but there's nothing really bad about it. And I think in this case, it wasn't that deep, and that maybe like it could have done a little more, but but it wasn't like it lost anything for not being.
That's
deep.
it. I don't think it needed to be. Like they didn't need
Like,
to try and
it
force
was-
that
it was-
again.
It was like one of those, yeah, he's kind of right, kind of songs. You know, when you hear it, and I appreciated that.
Yeah.
And Jay,
It was a 3.5 or a 4. I agree with you. It's a passable song.
all right,
It's something I wouldn't save it. It's like I wouldn't skip it, but I wouldn't save it. I could listen to it.
Guys, every time we're together and we disagree, I gotta say it's endearing. I really enjoy it.
thanks, buddy.
But like I like that we agreed on this one.
We're together, Holden. It makes me want to pee.
Well, that's because we drink water, healthy and shit.
So I feel like
Hydrate.
I fucking did not like this song.
I'm with you. That's why
I think this is the worst song on the album. I don't understand what the fuck it's doing here. Like you said, the other song didn't kind of fit, but if we're talking about like you can kind of loosely stretch like heartbreak and shit is related to consumption of emotions. This is like Chad Kroeger thinking back on when he was a teenager, drinking and fucking, and like there's nothing really to this song outside of remembering the good old days when him and his boys got together and had fun shenanigans. And
it could have been way better.
there was like no soul to it. Like, look, my criticism is not that it's a bad song. It's that like this song is like him peacocking how cool his younger life was after spending an entire album being like, I just learned my lesson.
You know what really pisses me off too about this one is that I love an album. Yes, but I love an album that has 10 tracks or
Right.
13 tracks. Like
Okay.
one of those numbers, one of those numbers that really feels like they put thought into which songs that we're going to put on it.
Right.
And this one just has 11, and this track didn't need to be here.
Absolutely.
Maybe there's gonna be a deluxe edition that's gonna save this.
There will
Sure,
definitely
whatever, and
be
there's going to
one.
be a
And
Japanese edition and whatever.
The Betrayal Act 2 might be on that.
Absolutely.
They
if there is there.
They probably won't. I think they're going to tease us with that for the rest of their fucking lives.
No, I don't think he's
It'll
that
come
smart.
But-
out on like their like retiring album.
He's not that smart.
On his deathbed, he's just going to sing, "This is the Betrayal I do." But
I actually never cheated on any of my girls. They cheated on me because I made the same song all the time.
Okay,
I'm just joking.
that's fine.
so
go
this
on,
song is not a good song. Again, they don't do love songs well.
Oh, this
They,
was
they
a
don't
love
do,
song.
Well,
but it is.
It's a love song to
is,
your
and-
youth and the younger times. It's just not a
Well,
that's
romantic
it.
love
From-
song.
And they don't do sensitive.
Like
They do, but they don't. And this one is just, it's all the things that they don't do well packed into one right at the end of the fucking album. And it's like, you
and
didn't
there was
need
no
it.
like catch or anything. It was
Yeah.
It was really just boring repetition, and like honestly, who cares if like everyone's hometown has a different downtown street now, and like it's
That's
kind of
true.
like, yeah, we get it. Time has changed, but like it was just really cheesy and frustrating, and almost every line almost felt like you ripped it from another person's nostalgia song.
Yeah.
Disappointing, Kroger.
This was
Disappointing.
just the CD was good to a certain point and it just got down.
Yeah.
Like sometimes the middle is shit, so far the CD was good in the beginning, was good in the middle, and now it's starting to like, okay,
It's a fucking 2.
this is the end of a Viagra.
This one's a 2.
Absolute 2, man. This is where I'm gonna go deuces or whatever you would say on it. It's fucking like,
They stole my catchphrase, so there you go. So
yeah. You gave it a 2 too?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's,
yeah,
it's
we're
all kinds
deuces
of
across the
so-
board.
Yeah.
We're all sharing a toilet right now.
So I guess in this case there was no Betrayal.
Act one.
Okay, well, we got to the Betrayal Act 1, and I just wanted to say why.
Oh,
It was beautiful with the instrumental. I felt that they got to 10 and they should have just stopped it because I felt this is so cheap. This is horrible for the listener. Why? Because yes, I understand it's a beautiful thing. Maybe they should have just added this to the Betrayal and just call it the Betrayal.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna have to really say that first of all, if we're gonna cut this down to 10, fuck every time we're together. That shit gets kicked off the album.
Yeah.
But this was so well composed, right? Look, for 2 minutes and 42 seconds, it's a slower song for one thing, but not boring. It's really rich. It progresses nicely, and it kind of takes you by the hand and lets you know that everything's gonna be okay a little bit in the feeling of the song, which is ironic because it's called The Betrayal, and I like it. I think it's got a cool way to end it, and to not have Chad singing here was bold. It was look, our band actually can write some dope shit. We don't need Chad. He isn't the band. Look, we're more than just Nickel. We're more than just him. We are Nickelback.
No.
We're not Nickel Chad.
They're Chad.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like this album was really it was a blast of energy for the most part. It's heavy, it's rocking, it's violent, it's twisty, it's turny, and then to have this kind of as the come down at the end, I really appreciate that. Barring that song that we all hated before, I think this could have closed the album nicely right after
beautiful.
Silent Majority. And I still think, and I actually lied before when I said that I was going to give only 1 5. I betrayed you. The Betrayal. I'm the Betrayal Act 2.
I
Plot
see what
twist.
you did there.
He's the
Yeah.
stripper.
But I mean, it's kind of, I'm giving this a 5 as an extension of the Betrayal Act 3 that came before, because I really think this is a really well composed song. And they've never, correct me if I'm wrong, someone in the comments, whatever, but I don't think they've ever done an instrumental track before. So this follows through with the spirit of experimentation that goes through this album. And I think they pulled it off really well.
And it almost betrays your expectations.
Yeah.
Right? And it feels like this is the intro to Act 3, and they deliberately put it at the end. And I like that. I find it was an interesting choice. I don't know fully why. I give it a 4. It isn't perfect to me.
This is going to be weird for me.
I feel like when it comes to instrumentals, it really comes down to does it get boring, or does it kind of capture you? And this captured me. I felt the rhythm. I felt the vibe of it, and I could just close my eyes for 3 minutes and disappear to this song. It was nice.
This is going to be weird. So wait. So I hated everything about the last song, but I respect every musician. By saying that, I actually gave it a 5 because I respected their playing and everything. Yeah, I saw that face. I was very pleasantly surprised. I hated the fact that there was no music into it. I wanted to give it a bad mark. I wanted to give it a 1. I really did. But out of respect for them playing instruments and all the hard work they did, and like you guys said, there was no Chad, that's why it's a 5.
So
have to respect
no
that.
Chad gets a 5.
No.
That's
no,
Nickelback.
no,
That's what you take away from
Not
this.
at all. Not at all. What I'm saying is, I respect the artists that they're playing enough to say that I'm wrong here for hating it.
Okay.
I won't save this song. I will delete this because I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I could fix the song simply, just make a bigger opening. Fucking Logic had a 12-minute song.
Yeah.
Stairway to Heaven 7 minutes or 8 minutes. Freebird's fucking forever. You could have made a longer version, added this to the intro, and have that where I picture this. I feel like Chad's gonna be on a table. Here's the perfect music video. I'm setting up the music video for the Betrayal. You have Chad at a table at a medieval fucking concert or something, sitting down as the king eating a fucking turkey leg, and that's the opening of someone playing the fucking fiddle there, and they're having a glorious time in armor.
I would
And then-
love to see this video.
That would be awesome. But in terms of the song, I don't really think it needed to be longer than it was. I think
No, I'm not saying that it had.
I
This
think you're
song
saying
has to go.
combine
I'm saying
the
to
two.
combine them. Because
Sure.
that's, you know what I felt like this is? You know what the honest opinion of this? It's we better just add something because the CD's too short.
That's every time we were together.
Yeah.
Just got
That's every
Here,
time
too,
we're
this one,
together.
too.
Okay. But then
Okay,
Fair enough.
It's a 5. Don't get me
Alright,
wrong.
fair
Respect
enough.
for the musicians.
Okay, so we've now gone through all the songs. It's time for, to talk about just kind of what our album grade is and close up. I gave this album, I was surprised with this, a 4.05 on 5 when I calculated all that shit.
4.05.
I ran the math. It was 4.05.
He's very nice
With
for
other
writing the
shits.
math because I don't do that.
I just managed. I make my life easy, but I like the average, and I was surprised. I'm like, man, Nickelback came up with a fucking great album.
It was a good
It's
CD.
solid. It's easy to listen to, and I'm gonna probably listen to it again.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a 4. I didn't run any math or anything.
That's okay.
Pull out my fucking calculator right now. But no, I'm gonna give it a 4. I think there's some solid bangers on this album. I think it for the most part it works as an album. It moves well. There aren't too many dull moments, barring that one song that we all agreed was fucking terrible. But I mean, when you have all the other songs where it's like a couple of us didn't like them, a couple of us did, and they sparked that conversation, they sparked that discussion. That's cool in and of itself. And I think this album really is an album that's gonna get people talking. So yeah, it gets a 4 from me.
Well, after doing what HSR did there in calculating the calculations on the old calculator, I gave this a 3.9999, with that little pi symbol there.
His screen is fucking off.
I know, I'm just making fun of HSR. It was a 3.5. It was a good CD. It wasn't bad. It was, at one point it was very exciting. Some points it was very down. I would actually, I would recommend this CD to people.
All right.
Because it's like, hey, you're talking shit about Nickelback? Go listen to this CD. You'll be surprised, motherfucker.
Yes,
Yeah.
you will be
Sid.
surprised, motherfucker.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Like, honestly,
Dokes call out.
if you listen to this album and you're just talking shit, you're just being a hater.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Because
Yeah.
it's really like from every objective metric possible, this is not a bad album.
No.
It's like what I said with the people secretly hating it, but they love it.
Yeah.
This is an easy CD to hate because it's fucking
No,
Nickelback.
this is gonna be an easy.
But like,
CD
if
to
you actually
defend.
sit down and,
No, that's what I'm
and
saying.
look
It's
at
like-
the music, yeah, it's a little bit, it's produced a little bit farther than it had to
No,
be.
Yeah,
it's
but
not
they're
But other
also
than
like
that-
what,
I'm not even
40s now.
talking music-wise. I'm just talking name-wise, brand-wise. It's Nickelback. It's gonna be
Look,
easy to
man,
hate.
for like
But
mid
listen to it.
40s rock
Yeah.
stars, this is dope.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? The one thing I just realized, we're talking shit about his range before on his voice. You know what? His range will never have to change because his voice is always going to be the same. He's going to be one of those singers that are going to be able to sing to like 70. They're going to be like the
Like
Rush.
Chuck
They're
Berry.
the new Rush of Canada.
Ooh.
I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way to Rush because Rush is awesome.
That's amazing.
Ooh.
All right.
I'm just saying they're going to
Okay.
last a long time because
Okay.
Rush lasted a long
No,
time.
you-
They're not as influential as Rush, obviously.
Okay.
See,
Fighting words have been trying here.
I'm not the biggest Rush fan.
Oh, you're shit.
I'm
Look,
not gonna
okay.
dive into
Okay,
that.
so
'cause
so
that
let's.
Either there, Tom Sawyer, you can fuck off.
This is a good place to end, I think. Then. So thank y'all for being with us. We're gonna be back next week with another album review. Jay, which one is it?
I want to say
It's Imagine
Coldplay.
Dragons.
Oh, is
It's
it?
Imagine
So we
Dragons.
agreed to it.
Yeah, I guess.
Haha, bitches. This is a
On
shout
the
out to.
exception of Marilyn Manson secretly releasing an album,
You can
it's
suck a bag
Imagine
of dicks.
Dragons.
I want to just say there's everybody out there, there's hope. You just have to fight for what you want. I stood up to him and we got Imagine Dragons.
Believe
We're
in your
going to
dreams.
listen, believe this is the
Not interested
motherfucking
in
dream.
this album, to be honest. But
I
we'll
don't
do it.
care. Holden, you and your girlfriend are nice people, but you can fuck off right now, not Bonnie, because she's awesome and she saves this show sometimes by giving me water. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. God bless Canada.
And tell Syd to come back because you loved him.
Oh, actually, really, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah, listen, relax. Yeah. Anyway, like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. Show us some love. Share it with your friends. Comment below. Love us, hate us, whatever.
Tell him to shave his beard again.
I'm not gonna do that.
Give it a little trimmy trim.
Nah, I'm gross.
Starting to look like
It's
my
giving
pubes.
Power, I digress. Have a great fucking week, everyone.
Thank you.
Peace.
Love you.